everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me here today. Happy Tuesday. Let's see who we have here. We have Alex. Hey, Alex. Thanks for joining the live stream. We have Climinator. Hey, Climinator. Getting right to it with the theories. You said, I have a theory. What if Stu is the long-lost brother of both Sidney and Roman? It just dawned on me tonight that it's a bit weird that Sidney knew nothing about Maureen's affair. So how did Stu seem to have more insight into Maureen's life, yet appear to be surprised by Billy's motive? I think he's related to Sidney. If that's the case, then that poor woman is cursed. Interesting. Well, let me think about this for a second. I don't know if Stu had that much insight into Maureen's life. Like you said, he does seem surprised by Billy's motive. And so a part of me thinks that Billy really didn't fill him in on anything, and Stu kind of just thought they were doing this for fun. I don't know. I feel like Stu was kind of kept in the dark the entire time. And it wasn't until Billy revealed his motive that Billy was like, oh, like this is what we're doing here. I don't know. I could be wrong. We have RJ here. Hey, RJ. You said you're becoming my favorite horror podcaster next to Killjoy Jake and Pizzowell. I'm not familiar with that channel, but I am a fan of Killjoy Jake, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We have Anime King here. Hello. Thanks for joining. We got Chris here. Hey, Chris. Hey, Amy. Abigail says, do you think that Stu is Tara's dad? So I do have a couple of theories on my channel about this theory. It's a little tough to say now, considering Tara's not going to be in Scream 7, but there was a time where I was a big believer of this theory. My theory videos on this go into great detail, which I'm not going to get into now, but you know, I will say Christina Carpenter, who is Sam and Tara's mom, you know, obviously Billy is Sam's dad. So I have this theory that Christina Carpenter has been helping Stu stay in hiding all of these years. So yeah, I do have a couple theories on the channel that Christina also hooked up with Stu a couple years later, and they had Tara. I do think that if Tara was in Scream 7, they would have eventually revealed this, but you know, she's unfortunately not going to be in the movie, so I don't know about that. But I am a fan of this theory. Hey, Ray. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining the stream. Hey, Xander. Fellow Stu Truther here. Nice. We gotta stick together. Hey, Sabina. Welcome to the stream. I also love Scream. It's my favorite movie of all time. Ray says, do you think the mystery gang from Scooby-Doo 2002 would survive a Scream movie? Interesting. I think some of them would probably not make it. Some of them would survive. I feel like Fred would probably die. I feel like Velma would survive because she's pretty smart. I don't know. Hey, Tommy, thanks for joining. I am well. I hope you are too. We have Ran here. Welcome to the live stream. We're going to get into some Scream theories. So if anyone has any theories they want to drop in the chat, please do so. Do you believe Christina Carpenter helped with the original killings in part 1? Also, do you think she will play a part in Scream 7? If so, what? Yes. So I have a lot of theories on the channel that I did always think that Christina Carpenter would play a big role in Scream 7. Now that Sam and Tara are no longer going to be in the movie, I do feel like those chances have gone down pretty significantly, but I do think there is a good chance just because Christina does have a connection with Sidney. They went to high school together. They both dated Billy Loomis. But I do think that Christina is a pretty shady character. And I do think that there is a good chance that she was involved in the original killings of the first movie. I do feel like if Sam and Tara were going to be in 7, I feel like it definitely would have been revealed that she was a part of the killings in the first movie. I don't know if they'll go that route now that Sam and Tara aren't, but I have always said, like, I hope that there's going to be a flashback to, let's say, Maureen Prescott's murder or Casey Becker's murder, and we learn that Christina was involved with that. I do think it's definitely possible that she was an accomplice, and I think that she could very well have known what Billy and Stu were up to back in the day. I guess we'll see. I mean, I hope that she is. I hope she can still make an appearance in Scream 7. Is Stu alive? Absolutely. Why is Tara not going to be in Scream 7? So there were always rumors that she wasn't going to be in it because Jenna Ortega is very busy with other projects, such as Wednesday on Netflix and Beetlejuice 2, which, obviously that's filmed already. That's coming out next month. But there were always these rumors that she wasn't going to be in it. But then it wasn't until Melissa Barrera was fired that she officially came out to say that she won't be in Scream 7. So I think there's a few reasons why she's not going to be in it. Part of it is her busy schedule. Another part of it is just the drama with Melissa Barrera being fired. Do you think Christina Carpenter could be a future Ghostface? Absolutely. Like I said just a few minutes ago, I think there's more to Christina than we know. Um, I hope she pops up. I hope she plays a role. I think there's so much that they can do with Christina's character. Hey Dylan, thanks for joining the live stream. Just talking some Scream and some Scream theories as usual. Climator says, I think Nancy Ann Ritter's girl in the bathroom character in Scream 96 is actually Christina Carpenter. One reason, at first she joins in the bitchy conversation, but when the cheerleader starts to get personal about Sidney, Nancy's character defends her. Interesting. I've never really thought that she could be Christina. You guys know who I think Christina is. I did a couple of videos on this. I think it's that random girl in the hallway who walks by Billy and Sidney when they're talking in the hallway at school. What is one thing the Scream sequels did better than the original? I don't know. I love the original so much that none of the sequels top it for me. So, I don't know. I feel like I don't have an answer for this. I do know there's a lot of people out there who prefer Scream 2 over the first one, which to me is so crazy. Like I said, nothing can top the original. You know, I love Scream 4. Scream 4 is my favorite sequel, but as much as I love Scream 4, I don't think it's better than the original. So I don't think there's anything that the sequels did better than the original. I don't know. If anyone has an answer to this, let us know in the chat. Kyle says, I think they should make it to where Randy faked his death. I know that Jamie Kennedy is a fan of this theory. He has said multiple times that he thinks Randy could have faked his death. I'm kind of torn on how I feel about this. I love Randy. He's like my top 2 favorite characters. After Stu, Randy is my favorite. I would absolutely love to see him again, but I don't know. I feel like, I have said that what these movies need are big deaths. And in Scream 2, Randy's death was the biggest one. So if he was still alive, it would kind of take away from that in Scream 2. But with that being said, if Randy was still alive, I would absolutely love to see him again. So I'm kind of torn on this, but Jamie Kennedy is a fan of this theory. He thinks that Randy faked his death. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. We have a super chat from Percy. Thank you so much, Percy. You said, hot take, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the greatest horror movie of all time. Interesting. I don't know if I agree with this. Texas Chainsaw in general is not one of my favorites. You guys know Scream is my favorite. After Scream, I love Halloween. I also love Jeepers Creepers, Child's Play, Nightmare on Elm Street. So, as far as the most iconic ones go, Texas Chainsaw is actually pretty low on my ranking, but I do like the 2003 remake. And then I also enjoy the one with Alexandra Daddario. I don't know what year that one came out. Like 2009, I think, or 2006. I like that one, but yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's still good. Thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate you, Percy. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to get into some more Scream theories and stuff. Yeah, nothing tops 96 in my opinion. We have Jamie here. Thanks for joining the live stream. Hey, Alvaro. I appreciate you being here. Is Mickey still alive? Will Stu and Mickey team up with Cult of Ghostface alongside Christina? I know there's a lot of people out there who want Mickey to be alive. I've said a million times, I'm not a huge fan of this theory. I like Mickey. I think he's a great character. I just don't think there's been that many clues for Mickey still being alive. Is it possible? Yes, because he wasn't shot in the head. But I don't know. I just feel like he's never been mentioned really in any of the sequels. And I just don't see a reason to bring him back. Hey, Jamie, thanks for being here. Thanks for moderating. Kenzie says, hot take, bring back Charlie Walker to team up with Stu and have him go after Kirby and friends. I would love this. This is something that comes up on most of my live streams. There was a time where I thought Charlie could be alive. I don't really think that's the case anymore. I don't really want to get into the details just because I talk about this every live stream. So I feel like you guys are all hearing me repeat myself a million times. But I do have a couple of Charlie theories on my channel if you want to check them out. Charlie Walker is one of my favorite ghost faces. He's in my top 5. I love him. I would love to see him again, but I just don't think it's going to happen, which sucks. I can get by Stu being alive, but Mickey got absolutely lit up. If he's somehow alive, the guy would be horribly crippled and ineffective as a killer. Yeah, he did get shot a lot. He got shot, I don't know, 10 times. But like I said, he didn't get shot in the head. So he could still be alive for sure. What if they keep it a secret and haven't told us that they wanted to bring back Melissa's character as a ghost face or Jenna Ortega? I know this is a popular theory. A lot of people think this. I don't know. I just feel like there's been too much drama that this wouldn't happen. I don't know. It's always a possibility. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I just don't see Sam coming back in the next sequel. Maybe one day down the road, Scream 8, Scream 9. I don't know. I just don't see it happening for 7. We have another super chat from Percy. Thank you, Percy. You said Michael Myers 2018 versus Sidney Scream 3. Who wins? Probably Michael. I feel like he's super strong. Yeah, Michael, every sequel that we see Michael in, he's super strong. No one can win against him. I love Sidney, but I think Michael would win this one for sure. Thank you for your second super chat, Percy. I appreciate you. Let's see, where was I? Climator says, what would you do if Sister Lois from Scream 2 returned in Scream 7 and was revealed to be Brenda Bates from Urban Legend, making a franchise crossover? That would be crazy. I mean, I would love it. Urban Legend is one of my favorites. So if they did that, that would be pretty crazy. And I mean, I would like to see it. Also in Urban Legend is Joshua Jackson, who was in Scream 2. So that would definitely be interesting. The fact that they were both in Scream 2 and Urban Legend. Do you think there's any supernatural stuff going on in the Scream franchise? I do not. I don't think there's any supernatural stuff in Scream. I personally would not like that. Who was Rowan's partner in Scream 3? So a lot of people think it was Angelina, which I can get behind that theory. It was originally going to be Angelina. There's quite a few theories out there. Some people think it could be Jennifer Jolie. Some people think it was Stu Macher. If you're a Stu believer, think he's still alive. Some people think that he teamed up with Roman in Scream 3. I think it's most likely to be Angelina. Hey, Paula. What if Stu killed at least once in each movie, from Scream 2 to Scream 6? Yeah, this is another popular theory out there. I am a fan of this theory. Almost every single live stream that I have, I end up shouting out Nerdbox here on YouTube. The channel on YouTube, they are big Stu believers. They have a series of videos on their channel that Stu is alive. They think that Stu has been present in every single sequel. So yeah, I definitely think it's a possibility. I think one thing the sequels, particularly Scream 2 and 4, did better than the original is the whole meta thing. All the movies are self aware, but 2 and 4 are practically fourth wall breaking level. That's a good point. Yeah, I definitely think Scream 4 is like the most meta. Um, we have that line from Gale in Scream 4, like, how meta can you get? And Dewey is like, how whata? And Gale's like, I don't know. I heard the kids saying that. I definitely do love Scream 4. It's my favorite sequel. So yeah, maybe that is one thing that it did better than the original. Jamie says, I'm sitting here trying so hard to think of something that the sequels did better than the original. I can't think of one thing. Each movie has something unique in its qualities that make it hard to compare. Yeah, that's true. I agree. I can't really think of one thing that did it better than the original. The original is just a perfect movie in my opinion. I will never get sick of watching the original. Hey Denisha, thanks for being here. Thanks for moderating. Do you think Sam and Tara will be talked about at all in 7 with any of the core 4 back or referenced? I do think that they will be mentioned. I think that just like in Scream 6, they briefly mentioned Sidney, who was not in Scream 6. They quickly said something about Sidney, like she took her family somewhere safe and she's safe. That's all they said about Sidney. I think it's going to be something like that. Just a quick 1 or 2 lines about Sam and Tara. I don't really think any of the core 4 will be back. I do think there's a small chance like the twins could be involved if they really wanted to involve them, but I don't think they will. Chris says Michael would waste Sidney in 1 second. Yeah, unfortunately. I think Dewey lived and went off the grid and is returning for 7. I don't know about that. I don't really agree. I do know a lot of people think there's a chance that Dewey survived. I don't think so. I think, unfortunately, he's dead. I would love to see a flashback with Dewey. That is something that I would absolutely love to see for Scream 7. Bobby says in Scream 7, I think the opening kill is going to be the babysitter, and Mark finds the body and takes the kids to a safe place. Definitely a possibility. There are so many possibilities for the opening kill, which is something that we've talked about on the channel a lot. I have a couple of videos on this. Mark Kincaid himself could be one of the opening kills. I hope he's not, but definitely possible. Hey, Ethan. Thanks for joining. No worries. We're going to go for a little while today, so you're not too late. Climinator says, regarding Joshua Jackson, if both he and Gayheart are in Seven, I'd love it if he plays his character from Scream 2, who would be the brother of Damon from Urban Legend. He could be the second Ghostface. Interesting. So he would be playing two characters? Interesting. You also said, unless he was stapled back together, Dewey is sadly gone. Yeah, I definitely think, unfortunately, Dewey is a goner. Yeah, they definitely did Dewey dirty. I mean, I'm kind of torn on how I feel about this because I always say, like, these movies need big deaths. So they really had high stakes in Scream 5. Just like Amber says in the end, our movie has stakes. Dewey died, Judy died. Those were two big deaths for Scream 5. But I don't know, like with Dewey, Scream 5 was the first time that we were seeing him in over a decade. We haven't seen him since Scream 4. So a part of me wishes that he survived Scream 5 and, if anything, they killed him in Scream 6. It does suck that we only got half a movie with him in Scream 5. And it also kills me the way that they killed him. I've always said I wish that Dewey died saving Sidney and Gale. It kind of pisses me off that he died saving Tara and Sam. Like, although people have pointed out to me, like, that just proves how good of a person he is, willing to save anyone, which, that's a good point, but it just would have been a better scene and way more emotional if he died saving Sidney and Gale. Ugh, that kills me. And I've also always said, like, sometimes I kind of forget that Dewey is dead just because I've watched Scream 1 through 4 so many times compared to 5 and 6. So I literally sometimes forget that he's no longer with us. And every time I remember, it kills me. I think it really should have been Stu that killed Dewey. I find it pretty disappointing to find out it was really Amber who did it. That would be so disrespectful to Dewey. Well, if you're new here, I think you are new because I don't recall seeing you in the live chats, but I do have a ton of theories on my channel that Stu is the one who killed Dewey. There are a lot of us out there who believe it was actually Stu. I don't think it was Amber. I agree with you. I think it would mean a lot more if Stu was the one who killed Dewey. And I do think it was Stu. I think it's going to be revealed in Scream 7. You guys know, I think Stu is leading a cult of ghost faces, and Amber was a cult member. And as a member of the cult, you want to protect your cult leader. So, you know, in Scream 5, it wasn't Stu's time to reveal himself. So Amber kind of, you know, took responsibility for that kill, but it wasn't really Amber. They say Scream 7 will be the darkest yet. What do you think they will deliver different from the rest of the Scream series? I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I hope it's the darkest one. I definitely hope it's darker than the last two we've gotten with 5 and 6. I don't know. Maybe the stakes will be higher. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Ghostface will kidnap Sidney's kids, which I think would make it pretty dark. Um, you know, the Scream movies kind of are more on the comical side, which I love. I love that, but I do hope that Scream 7 is more is definitely darker. I am going to take a quick break. I'm just going to step away for a minute. I need to turn on my AC because it's hot in here. But I will be right back. So don't go anywhere. If you have any theories you want to drop in the chat, please do so. And I will get to them once I get back. Okay. I am back. Made it back alive. Bobby says, I think Dewey had to die to bring Sidney back. That is a good point. It has to take something big to get Sidney to come back. And that is kind of why I think the Scream 7, it's also going to take something big to get Sidney to come back, you know? Like, she wasn't in Scream 6 because it kind of didn't involve her. You know, it was about Sam and Tara, and I don't know, I think I do think something big is going to have to happen in Scream 7 for her to come back. I hope it's not Gale's death, because if and when Gale dies, I do hope Sidney is present for it. I want Sidney to be there when Gale dies. Paula says, I'm on my desktop and it's not showing the whole chat. It's possible that are you watching this on my second channel? Because if you are, then it won't show the whole chat. If you're on my main channel, then I don't know why it's not showing the whole chat, but I've noticed that if people are watching on my second channel, which I am streaming at the same time on my second channel, then it doesn't show the whole chat. How would you feel if Sidney died in 7? I feel like doing that at this point would be a terrible move and also kind of corny. They tried it with Laurie in Halloween Resurrection, and that flopped hard. So I hope she doesn't die in 7, but I do think eventually she should die. I know that's controversial, and some of you here probably don't agree with me, but I do think that once Neve Campbell decides she's officially done with the franchise and doesn't want to continue anymore, I do kind of think that they should kill off Sidney. I hope it's not in 7, but eventually. Jamie says they should have given him a heroic send-off. He was one of the OGs and he made it through since the beginning. It was very upsetting to see one of the main 3 go like that. Yeah, totally agree with you. It sucks, man. I can't stand that he died to save Tara and Sam. I don't know. We saw Stu get fried. I don't really see how he could have survived that. I have a ton of theories on my channel explaining how I think he could have survived that. In fact, I have a video from many months ago. I think it's called 6 Reasons Stu MACHER Could Have Survived His Injuries. You know, we have to remember that Jill Roberts in Scream 4, she also got electrocuted. She had a defibrillator to her brain, and that is not what killed her. She kept living after that. She woke up again. So, you know, that's one of the many clues that point towards Stu surviving his injuries. Do you think in a future movie there will be a crossover with the TV series? I don't know. I feel like probably not, but it's always a possibility, and I would definitely be open to it. I did do a video about the show and the movies possibly taking place in the same universe, because we learn in Scream 6 that Kirby lives in Atlanta, Georgia, and season 3 of the show takes place in Atlanta. So I don't know. And Kirby says, I take a special interest in Ghostface attacks. So was she investigating the events of season 3? David says Dewey should have had a chance to unmask Ghostface in Scream 5. I agree with you. I wish he at least made it until the final act. Just especially because this was the first time we were seeing Dewey in 11 years. Like, I wish he was in most of the movie. It sucks. I agree. Stu killed Dewey. Thanks, Fran. You said I'm new to your channel. I've been a fan of Scream for a long time, and a friend of mine recommended a video of yours to me, and I find you really cool. Thank you. Plus, I agree with some of your theories. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have a lot of theories on the channel. Oh no, Climinator. Plug into your phone so you can hang out longer. Do you think Gale originally helped Stu and Billy kill Sidney? I don't think so, no. I don't. Hey, Prodigy. Thanks for joining the live stream. Just talking some Scream theories. Let's see. Sometimes the chat scrolls away from me and I lose my space. Hey, Zork. Thanks for joining. Thanks for moderating. What happened to the core 4? I forgot. I mean, they all survived at the end. Chad was seriously injured, but he survived. Yeah, everyone survived at the end. So they're all still alive, but unfortunately, I don't think any of them will be in Scream 7, unfortunately. It sucks. Hey, Texting Master. Thanks for joining. Prodigy says, Scream theory for 7 is Ghostface is going to kill Kincaid in the first act, but he won't actually be dead and will return at the end to save Sidney and the kids. Interesting. What if Dewey unmasked Ghostface in Scream 5 and saw the killer before he got killed? That would be interesting. I mean, I definitely don't think it happened because, you know, Ghostface killed Dewey and that's the last thing that we see. But imagine if he did. So kind of like Casey Becker in the opening scene, the way that she like unmasks Ghostface and she kind of seems surprised to see who it was. But of course, we don't find out till the end who it was. Imagine if Dewey unmasked Ghostface and he had some kind of a reaction, and then we don't find out until 7 who he saw. Hey, Scarlet Witch. Thanks for joining the live stream. Hey, Tyler. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I have a couple theories about this on the channel, Abigail, about Charlie still being alive. At the time when I made the theories, I was a huge fan of this theory, thought it could be true, but I don't really think anymore. I don't really think this is going to happen. I wish it would, but I don't think so. Do you like DC and Marvel movies? Not really. I'm not a huge fan. There are a couple that I like. I'm a huge fan of the original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. I'm a fan of some of the X-Men movies. Like the first ever X-Men movie that I saw was Wolverine Origins. I saw that in theaters when it came out, and that kind of got me into the X-Men movies, but I haven't seen all of them. I've seen a couple of the X-Men movies. Like I said, original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. But other than that, not really. I tried to get into a lot of the Marvel ones, like with the Avengers. I saw like the first 2 or 3 Avengers movies, but not really for me. I would like to eventually watch them, but they're just not my favorite. It would be a shocking twist if Gale is a Ghostface killer in Scream 7. I agree. It definitely would be shocking. I don't know if I would like this, though. I feel like if Gale was going to be a Ghostface, there was a time and place for it early on in the franchise. I feel like it's a little too late for that. I don't know. I do agree it would be a shocking twist. Jamie says, I was shocked but happy that Chad was alive. I know that bothers some people, but I'm willing to suspend my disbelief on it. I really like Chad. So I agree. I also really like Chad, but I don't know. For me, it's just like the fact that in Scream 6, he was stabbed literally over 20 times. That is like overkill, in my opinion. And the fact that two ghost faces tag teamed him, like, I don't know. That's just crazy, in my opinion. Um, and on top of that, like with Scream 5, he was stabbed like 9 times or 7 times in Scream 5. I don't know, it's just a little much for me. You know, I have said before, if they wanted Chad to survive, then fine, but they should not have had two ghost faces tag team him. If they wanted to have two ghost faces on screen at the same time, whoever they attacked should have died. That is my main issue with Chad surviving. I'm with you. I like Chad. If they want to make him survive, that's fine. But just the fact that two ghost faces attacked him and did not succeed, that is my main issue. We have a super chat from Silver Princess. Thank you so much. You said the whole "you're a person of interest, so you can't leave town" in Scream 6 is not an actual thing unless there is a written court order. Interesting. I don't really know enough about this to say, but I do think this is kind of what they said in Scream 4 also with Sidney. She wanted to leave town, but Dewey and Judy tell her, like, you're a person of interest, even though we trust you, like, you're a person of interest. Um, but every time I watch Scream 6, I think to myself, like, F that. Like, I would get out of town for sure. Thank you so much for your super chat, Silver Princess. I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's see, where was I in the chat? Sometimes it scrolls away from me and I lose my spot. Oh no, now my chat is frozen. All right, bear with me for a second. My chat is frozen and I'm trying to find where I was. Okay, I think I was here. Texting Master said, just watched Thanksgiving, and it reminded me that Kincaid could be the ghost face for Scream 7. And Sidney is just in shock. I do have a couple of theories on the channel about this. I do have a couple of theories that Kincaid was possibly Roman's partner. I know this isn't a popular theory, really. I do have a theory that he was possibly Roman's partner, but just kind of gave up on the Ghostface plan once he started to develop feelings for Sidney. And maybe in Scream 7, like, I don't know. I have a ton of theories on this. Like, maybe Kincaid dies in the opening scene and Sidney's kind of going through his belongings and finds out that he was originally Roman's partner, but he hasn't been an active Ghostface for all these years. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities that they could do with this. Rand says, I don't think Sidney should die at some point. In my opinion, she deserves a happy ending. If the franchise goes on after 7, then we could have a whole new final girl. Yeah, there are theories that her kids will go on to lead the franchise once Sidney kind of moves on from this. But it is just, they are just rumors at this point. I don't know how true it is. It sucks that at this point, all we have are rumors. I wish that we could get some like solid info. I don't know what the holdup is. It's been a while since we've gotten some official Scream 7 news. Honestly, the last official news that we got was back in March when we heard that Neve Campbell and Kevin Williamson were returning. That was how many months ago? 5 months ago? That's crazy. So I feel like every time I go on Twitter, it's nothing but rumors. And I feel like people are just getting like stir crazy and like making up these rumors to kind of have some kind of Scream 7 news. I don't know. Martin says Stu is alive. I agree with you, Martin. We are Stu believers here on the channel, at least most of us. Not everyone. Imagine if Scream 8 picks back up where the MTV series left off at the end of season 2. That would be wild. That would be crazy. I've always said, you know, I wish we can get an ending to that story because a lot of that story was really good. And I do know that Beyond the Mask, the channel here on YouTube, they're continuing the story with books. They are writing a series of books or one book to continue the story. Tyler says, if you have to save one victim from each Scream movie, who would you save? I think we talked about this on the stream yesterday, so I apologize if you hear me repeating myself, but The first movie, I would save Tatum Riley. Second movie, Randy Meeks. Third movie, Jennifer Jolie. Fourth movie, Robbie Mercer. Fifth movie, Dewey Riley, of course. Sixth movie, I don't know, because no one major died where I like care enough to save them. I feel like most people would say Annika. But I also would kind of want to save Laura from the opening scene. Let's see. Paula says, loved Deadpool and Wolverine. I am looking forward to seeing that one. I did not go to the theaters to see it, so I am waiting for it to, go to streaming. I am a huge fan of Wolverine and Deadpool, so I am looking forward to seeing that movie. I have seen several spoilers for this movie, which I don't really mind. Typically, I hate seeing spoilers online, but these are one of those movies that, like, I'm not like a huge fan of them, so I don't really mind seeing spoilers. I'll still watch the movie. But I don't know when it goes to streaming. I am looking forward to it. Jamie says, I feel like they had some kind of reason in their heads for Chad to have been stabbed so many times but lived. It's so over the top. Maybe there is a hidden meaning to it that we have yet to figure out. So my reasoning behind this, I know, Jamie, that you're not a huge Stu believer. I think you're kind of open to it, but you're not a big believer. My reasoning behind Chad surviving everything is they wanted to be more believable that Stu could survive his injuries. I feel like Scream 5 and 6 are kind of, how do I even word it? Like, some of the injuries in 5 and 6 are so drastic and almost unbelievable for people to survive because they want Stu being alive to be more believable, if that makes sense. I don't know. Let's see. Ooh, we have Ice Cold Juice gifting a membership. Thank you, Ice Cold Juice. We have Mass Tyson as a new member. Awesome. Thank you so much for gifting that, Ice Cold Juice. So, Tyson, now you can use the fun emojis in the chat. I have a lot of different Scream emojis that you can use in the live chat or the comment section of some of my videos. Let's see. Every time I highlight a certain comment, the chat scrolls away from me. So I realize I'm very behind in the chat. I'm trying to get to everyone. I apologize, you guys. If you have a comment that you want me to reply to, you can always send in a super chat. But I do try my best to get to everyone. And like I said, my chat has scrolled away from me. So I'm trying to find where I was. Bear with me for one moment. Ethan says, what's your favorite kill in Scream? Mine is Tatum. I find it cool with the garage door. That is definitely one of my favorites. Honestly, it probably is also my favorite. I do really like Olivia's from Scream 4 just because it's one of the most brutal ones. But Tatum's is definitely one of the most creative ones. So I think I agree with you, Ethan. I think Tatum is my favorite. Nice. Stu lives. Paula says I loved Kieran. Yeah, he was a good character in the TV series. Ice Cold Juice says, don't like going to cinemas. I do. I love going to the movies, but unfortunately, there is not one that is very close to where I live. So if I do go to the movies, it's like a big event. It costs me a lot of money to take like Ubers there. And then, of course, plus the ticket, plus the snacks, and then the Uber home. It's honestly a lot of money that I'm not always willing to spend. So it takes a big movie to get me to go to the movie theaters. So yeah, I'm pretty selective with what movies I go to see in the theaters. I am going to take a quick break. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Drop your Okay. Made it back alive again. Let's see. Where was I? Tyler says, what if there is a scene where Sid gets a call from the police that Kincaid was Roman's partner while she was going through his belongings? Then she turns around to see him standing there smiling. That would be creepy. Yeah, I mean, that would be a big betrayal to Sidney for sure. You know, a lot of people are not a fan of Kincaid being a ghost face for Scream 7 just because, like, the boyfriend thing has been done before. You know, Sidney's boyfriend in the first movie, Sam's boyfriend in Scream 5. But in my opinion, this would be a big betrayal because she married him. She started a life with him. She has kids with him. So I do think that this would be a pretty big betrayal. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on how I feel about this. Hi, Texting Master. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see. Jamie says that's absolutely genius. Thank you. Makes total sense. I'm not opposed to Stu coming back. I'm looking forward to seeing the story they want to tell if they do. I'm just not one to speculate ahead of time. Nice. I'm glad you're open to it because I do think it's a pretty good possibility that Stu comes back. I hope he does. Yeah, I'm with you. I love hearing everyone's theories, you know? Even people who are not on board with Stu coming back, you know, I just love hearing everyone's theories. And that is the great thing about this franchise. We all have different opinions, different theories, and you know, I'm never too set on what I think. I'm always open to changing my opinion on certain things. Did Son of the Mask kill Jamie Kennedy's career? I don't think I've ever seen this movie. Thanks, Paula, for hanging out with us. Alejandro says, I'm watching Nightmare on Elm Street 2, The Revenge. I have to admit, I think the second one is my least favorite of the franchise. I know there's a lot of people out there who would disagree with that. I feel like the second one has a lot of fans out there. But for me, it's my least favorite, I think. I do plan on rewatching the entire franchise for spooky season. I don't watch the franchise that often. It's typically during like Halloween season that I will do a rewatch of Nightmare on Elm Street. And like I said, I think the second one is my least favorite. Ice Cold Juice says, don't watch Son of the Mask. I might just have to rewatch it just out of curiosity. Hello, welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining. I am good. I hope you are as well. Hey, Paul. Jamie says, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 has its good moments. I love the cinematography, and some of the lines Freddy says are fantastic. It's also the first one I saw in the theaters, but it isn't high in my rank. Interesting. Like I said, I have to give them a rewatch this spooky season. I do have some fun things planned for the Halloween season on the channel. Lots of different horror content coming. So I do want to rewatch all of them to come up with some more content for the channel. Do you think Stu should be revealed in the beginning, middle, or towards the end of Scream 7? So, I personally think he should be revealed in the end, just because I am such a fan of the reveals happening in the third act. But with that being said, I do hope that he gets away with it in the end, just so that we can get him in a full movie in Scream 8. You know, some people have said that they want him to be revealed in the beginning so that we get the full movie with him in Scream 7, which I totally get because I want him in a full movie, but I want to build the suspense throughout the entire movie and have him get away with it at the end to have him be in a full movie for Scream 8. That's just my thoughts. What are your other favorite scary movie franchises? Well, other than Scream, I love the Halloween franchise, the Chucky franchise, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, the classics, but I also love Jeepers Creepers. You know, not the whole franchise. Some of those movies in the franchise are not great, but 1 and 2 for Jeepers Creepers, some of my favorite horror movies of all time. The third one, not the worst movie I've ever seen, but the fourth one is not great at all. So bad. Unfortunately, like I've said before, I spent money on Jeepers Creepers 4. I rented it, and I couldn't even finish half of the movie. Like, I watched the first half and gave up on it. So yeah, not the best. It's unfortunate because, like I said, the first 1 and 2 are so good. So how could you let this franchise that started off so good end up so bad? We have a super chat from Alex. You said, at some point, would you be willing to have a virtual meeting with your followers, since many of us would no doubt like to meet you? Interesting. Yeah. I mean, what do you mean? Just like a live stream where I have some of my followers pop up into the live stream? Because yeah, for sure, I would be down for that. We could talk some horror movies, Scream franchise. That would be cool. We definitely could do that eventually. I don't know, maybe for like the Halloween season. Like I said, I have a lot of fun things coming for the Halloween season. I have currently been planning so much content for the month of October, where it's going to be ready to go for October. So once that's out of the way, because I am currently filming, editing, getting those videos ready to go for October. So once that's out of the way, yeah, maybe we could do some live streams, like maybe for some watch parties where maybe some of you guys can join me on the live stream to do some watch parties. That would be cool and a lot of fun. For sure, I would be open to that. Thank you so much for your super chat, Alex. I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out and joining the live stream. Ooh, Fear the Phantom says the 23rd anniversary of Jeepers Creepers is on August 31st. Interesting. I didn't realize that. All right, I have to make a note of that. Because, yeah, that is one of my favorite horror movies. And the fact that it's the 23rd anniversary is significant to the franchise. So, yeah, we just might have to do a watch party. Interesting. I did not realize that. Thank you for pointing that out to me. We will definitely do a watch party for that. Do you think Chad could have been a killer in Scream 7 if Sam and Tara finished their trilogy? I don't know. I definitely think it's a possibility. I never really rule out anyone. But I don't know. With Chad, I feel like he was more of like the new Dewey. And Dewey is someone that I would never really consider to be a ghost face. So I don't know. I feel like Chad wouldn't be a ghost face. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Chad could possibly ever be a ghost face? If anything, I feel like Mindy would be more of a ghost face. What do you think will be the killer's motive in Scream 7? Well, I do think that Stu is going to be the ghost face in Scream 7. And I do think that his motive would just be revenge. I think Stu would want revenge on Sidney for technically ruining his life in the first movie. Something new I think would have been cool to see in the Scream franchise is a solo female killer. And Christina Carpenter would have been perfect for that. Interesting. I mean, I have said I would absolutely love Christina Carpenter to be a Ghostface. I do think that there is way more to her character than we know. But a solo killer would be interesting. I mean, we haven't had a solo killer since Scream 3. A part of me thinks that they wouldn't really want to do a solo killer again. You know, that wasn't the original plan for Scream 3. They wanted there to be at least 2. So I don't know if they would ever want to do a solo killer again. We have Ice Cold Juice gifting another membership. Thank you. Let's see. I was just going to say, it says you gifted yourself a membership. How is that even possible? That's funny. How do they even make that an option? Either way, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Let's see, where was I in the chat? I mean, really, does it give you an option of who to gift? I don't know how it works when you guys gift memberships. If it lets you like choose who it is or if it's just random, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, you said it's random. Interesting. Why would they let you, if it is random, why would they even give you the option of yourself? That is so funny. Alejandro says, I just got Jeepers Creepers, the original, on VHS, waiting for the watch party. Nice. Yeah, I'm going to have to schedule that watch party. What did... Let's see. What day did Fear the Phantom say it was? Sometime in August. August 31st. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I have anything going on that day. Saturday. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a watch party that day, but definitely sometime soon. Like hopefully this coming week or next week. For the anniversary. Because it is one of my favorite horror movies, definitely in my top 5. So we're definitely going to have to do a watch party for that. Let's see, where was I? Jamie says, personally, I have a problem with taking a character who's meant to be good and turning them into a ghost phase, especially one who survived injury and we are meant to see a strong for it. I get that. Yeah, like Chad becoming a ghost phase. Not a huge fan of that. All right, so does it look like I'm mostly caught up in the chat? So I do think I'm going to end the stream in a couple of minutes. While I have you guys here, I do want to remind you that I do have some t-shirts for sale. Let's see if I can pull it up on the screen. Yeah, so I have you guys want to purchase a shirt, that would mean so much to me. But if not, no worries. Just you guys being here, hanging out, means so much to me. I love hanging out with you guys, talking Scream, talking horror, Scream theories. But yeah, I feel like I don't talk about my merch enough. So just in case you guys weren't aware, I do have those t-shirts for sale and hoodies. But yeah, we are going to end the stream here. I so appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I will most likely go live tomorrow. I am going to try to go live every day this week. So hopefully you guys can join the stream. I have said before, make sure all of your notifications are on so that you don't miss out on the stream, because sometimes I don't plan these things ahead of time. I just kind of pop on here when I get a free moment in the day. And, I don't want you guys to miss it because we have a lot of fun. I do have some watch parties planned coming up. I think the first one we're going to do is Jeepers Creepers. So stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out.